The secret thing you just did in a private room when no one was around has been discovered. Wait, don't panic, and don't scroll away. This is the greatest news you have ever heard. An encoded message meant just for you, a true chosen one. They saw it. A blinding aura erupted the very moment you decided to let go of hatred. Stop struggling in despair and fully surrender your suffocating pain to the Most High. For a long time, surrounded by darkness, you mistakenly thought you had been forgotten, cast aside from all the best divine arrangements. But no, that silent yet monumental act you just performed was the breakthrough that tore through all limits, sounding a powerful bell that echoed across the heavens. And what is the consequence of that absolute obedience? An anointed soul, a divinely ordained counterpart, is longing for you uncontrollably. They are searching for you across all spiritual realms with a frantic passion. Do not rush to leave just yet, because if you watch patiently, the most authentic portrait of this divine soulmate, along with the exact moment they enter your life, will be fully revealed later in this message. However, at this very crossroads of destiny, the line between ultimate glory and pitfalls is thinner than ever. An urgent warning is being sent to you. You must absolutely seal your lips. You must never expose this newfound peace, nor share the strange vibration stirring in your soul with anyone who does not share your frequency. When the light of the chosen one shines too brightly, dark forces and envious energies instantly sense the shift. They are panicking, searching for any loophole in your words or careless glances to launch obstructive attacks, hoping to suffocate your blessing before it can take form. You certainly won't want to miss the next few minutes, as the most cunning tactics of the enemy to steal this connection will be exposed in detail, helping you identify and spectacularly pass this final test. Your steadfast, quiet, and unpretentious silence right now is the most sacred incubator, a powerful golden armor completely shielding the seed of your miracle. The storm has truly receded, giving way to an unprecedented whirlwind of divine grace pouring down. The divine love rushing toward you now is not merely a worldly relationship, but a powerful reward. A miniature kingdom established specifically to honor the tear-stained scars of the chosen one's past. Welcome, child of light. You have been guided here, not by chance, but by divine design. Stay until the very last seconds of the message, because a powerful sealing prayer awaits you there, where the key to unlocking the sacred covenant's door will be handed directly to you. This is absolutely not the time to hesitate or yield to any cynical doubt. Set up a protective barrier for this anointed frequency right now, and to seal the covenant, fully unlocking the infinite power of the miracle from this very beginning. Boldly declare your power. Stay and fully receive the glory, for the entire spiritual realm is holding its breath, waiting for this great obedience from you. Let's be honest with each other in this moment. Did you ever think a time like this would happen in your life? There were times you thought God had completely forgotten you, right? Or perhaps you bitterly told yourself that maybe you were just overthinking, deluding yourself with empty hopes in the midst of endless despair. You used to sit there, curled up in the darkest corner of the room, watching your youth and passion be drained to exhaustion by toxic environments and the wrong people. You felt like your soul was a dry, cracked land that no one spared a glance for. You were convinced that your enduring suffering, your silent sobs at 3 in the morning, and the shattered pieces lodged deep in your chest were invisible to this vast world. You thought you were completely isolated. You thought no one saw you. No one understood the layers upon layers of pain weighing heavily on your shoulders, but you were wrong. The shocking truth is, the entire spiritual realm has its eyes fixed on you. Let this veil of secrecy be torn away right now. When this message powerfully declares they saw it, the word "they" absolutely does not refer to the mere mortals out there. It is not the shadow of a toxic ex, nor those who once mocked you, nor the indifferent crowds on social media. No, they are a great spiritual ecosystem operating in parallel with your every breath. They are the armies of angels standing guard, the warriors of light who have never taken their eyes off you for even a millisecond. They are also the dark forces, the malicious entities that once exerted all their strength to drag you into the mud, now trembling and retreating in terror before the blinding aura that has just exploded from you. And more importantly than anything else in this world, they include the deepest spiritual part of the divine partner destined for you, your kingdom spouse. Listen very closely, chosen one. And this is the greatest plot twist, the most spectacular turnaround in the script of your life. Did you think you were completely invisible during those days of miserable loneliness? In truth, every tear that fell, every monumental silent endurance, every time you gritted your teeth and chose forgiveness over cursing was recorded in heaven clearly, without a single stroke missing. Just as the great King David once cried out in the most desperate bottleneck of his life, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle." Not a single one of your tears that fell to the floor that night was forgotten or evaporated in vain. God collected every single drop, cradling them like the most precious jewels. And at this very moment, those suffocated tears have been refined through red fire, turning into a brilliant, intensely shining aura enveloping your entire existence. The darkness did not crush you. It was only serving as a backdrop, a perfect background for the crown of the chosen one to shine more brilliantly and powerfully than ever before. And when your aura changed, an unprecedented event erupted. When the spiritual world witnessed this great upgrade, they began to shift all the chess pieces of destiny. The universe is directly intervening in everyday events, bending both space and time to clear the way and eliminate all obstacles to bring that person straight into your life. The soul of that divine spouse has just felt an extremely powerful jolt. Wherever they are, whatever they are doing, they have suddenly been awakened by a spiritual pull that cannot be explained by human logic. They may not know what your face looks like yet, or what your name is, but their soul has identified your exact frequency. They crave the healing energy, the unyielding resilience, and the anointed light radiating from you to the point of madness. They are rushing towards you at the speed of grace, bringing with them monumental compensation for all the trauma and losses you have ever suffered. Stay with this message a little longer, because this action you just took, that decisive moment, is far more powerful and destructive to darkness than you realize. It is the master key that has unlocked the entire chain of blessings that had been delayed for so long. Do not rush away, because in the very next section, the secret of the ultimate action you just performed will be fully exposed. This is a turning point that has made the dark realm gnash its teeth in frustration, yet has flung the gates of heaven wide open to welcome you. If you scroll past now and miss this core truth, you might accidentally strip yourself of your own supreme power right on the threshold of victory. Furthermore, if you patiently stay until the very last moments of the message, an invaluable revelation will be handed directly to you. Extremely important signs will be revealed so that you do not fall into the trap of deception. The way to recognize the enemy's true face, when they disguise themselves as counterfeit blessings to launch a final counterattack to steal your kingdom spouse, will be laid bare. And most special and wonderful of all, a powerful prophetic prayer carrying the highest anointed frequency awaits you in the final seconds. It is a declaration that will permanently seal this divine love into your existence. A seal that no force can break. Don't look away. The curtain has only just begun to rise. The truth behind this is 1,000 times greater. You are no longer a victim of fate. You are taking your firmest, proudest steps into the glorious era of a chosen one. The veil of secrecy has only been half lifted, and to rightfully take the most authoritative steps into the glorious era calling ahead, the master key has been activated from the depths of your soul. Look back with absolute honesty at that exact moment of explosion. Following right after the moment, the great anointed light awakened. The miracle that shook the heavens did not take place on a glittering stage or amidst the applause of the world. It erupted in the darkest, quietest place of ultimate despair, the very moment you decided to perform this action. How many times have you tormented yourself and asked, what on earth created this massive spiritual earthquake? The answer lies entirely in the brutal, yet breathtakingly beautiful transformation of a chosen one. That monumental action was your decision to permanently cut off compromise. It was when you decisively wiped away the tears choked with resentment from a past that was rigged to destroy you, stopped crying, and stopped begging for love from places that only brought spiritual starvation. You are no longer curled up in pain, no longer locking yourself in the role of a victim in the earthly tragedies the enemy had laid out for you. Your legs may still tremble from bleeding wounds that have yet to heal. Your chest may still tighten from humiliating betrayals. But you chose to gather the strength of an entire lifetime to stand straight. The very moment you boldly said no to cheap, manipulative energies and held your head high, fully accepting your identity as the chosen one. A roar of victory echoed throughout the kingdom of light. You rejected the familiar iron cage, spreading your scarred wings to proudly bear the weight of the crown God has bestowed upon you. This was not just a temporary psychological remedy, it was a bloody revolution. The greatest holy war in the spiritual realm, and you are the absolute victor. But why does this cosmic message engrave itself with the word finally? Because all of heaven and hell know all too well that you have spent too much time, that you have had to struggle to crawl through the long valleys of the shadow of death. The word finally carries the heavy weight of thousands of sleepless nights, of times you collapsed as if the bones of your soul were shattered, never to stand again. It was a desolate winter, a harsh wilderness season where you were tested by fire to the absolute limit. There were times you failed miserably before the tests of destiny, returning to pick up shattered pieces that made your hands bleed, blindly lowering your sacred standards. You once allowed toxic energies and karmic relationships to cross the boundaries of your soul out of the sheer fear of intense loneliness. The spiritual enemy exploited the illusions of the past, molding them into self-doubt to erode the noble valley. But then, that deadlock wheel was finally smashed to pieces. The great final blow appeared. Finally, you passed the most brutal test of self-respect and faith. Finally, awakening knocked on your door, making you realize that your eternal value does not lie in how damaged people treat you, but in the anointed blood flowing through your veins. This finally is a brilliant medal of honor, marking the moment you officially broke the generational curse, shattered the karmic loop to clear the path straight to the throne that belongs to you. The moment stubborn resistance was extinguished to make way for the great surrender. The miracle truly descended. You no longer forced yourself to patch up mismatched pieces, no longer screamed, demanding the universe operate according to your fear-filled calculations. Instead, you employed the highest form of warfare in the spiritual realm, absolute surrender. The 1,000-year-old teaching preserved in Psalm 37:5 has been perfectly, vividly, and powerfully fulfilled in your very life. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act. Keep this deeply engraved in your heart. This surrender is absolutely not the cowardly resignation of a defeated soul, nor is it a weak surrender. It is the proud roar of a light warrior who has found the ultimate source of power. You bravely gather that the entire weight of your shame, all your grievances, your broken connections, and your deepest desires, placing them at the feet of the Most High. The right to write the next script of your life was respectfully handed back to the greatest director. And the very moment that sacred surrender was established, He acted. The rusty chain binding you to the past immediately shattered into 100 pieces. Your aura exploded, cleansing all remnants of rejection, turning you into a spiritual magnet with the most brilliant, purest vibration the invisible world has ever witnessed. Casting off the burden of the past freed your hands, leaving them completely empty, clean, and ready to grasp another priceless gift being sent your way. The energy of this release is so strong that it is creating a massive electromagnetic storm sweeping through all barriers of space and time to strike directly at the consciousness of your divine spouse. They are being deeply shaken by the magnetic pull radiating from your surrender. Do not leave now. The next section will reveal their frantic reaction upon witnessing this moment of yours. There will be shocking details that will make you shiver with amazement at the miraculous intervention of the hand of destiny. Your rising up has inadvertently become the ultimate key, unlocking the chains of their soul, pulling them out of oblivion to rush straight toward you. A fiery, loyal love guaranteed by heaven is surging forward. But before that great door officially swings open, a vital ritual of confirmation must be established right in this space. The universe needs a decisive declaration from you. There can be no turning back, no more hesitation. If you recognize that you have just let go of the burden of the past to move forward, seal this action. This is absolutely not a mindless line of text, but a powerful spiritual contract, a sacred signature written in blood and tears, confirming that the chosen one has cast off the chains proudly put on the crown and is ready to harvest the greatest blessings heading their way. The final call has been made. Destiny is calling your name. Boldly seal your glory at this very moment. As soon as the code of surrender was released and sealed into space, the magnetic vortex of destiny officially triggered an extremely intense chain reaction from the other side of heaven, connecting to the proud emotions of a warrior of light who has just ascended the throne. That great awakening kindled an unquenchable fire fully and nakedly decoding the phrase crazy in love, the state of frantic, mad, and absolute infatuation that your divine spouse is directing toward you. Understand this deeply. Chosen one, this person longs for you and is consumed by your image. Absolutely not because of flashy material values, glamorous outfits, or worldly appearances that fade over the years. No, those things are too trivial, too cheap for a sacred covenant guaranteed and eternally sealed by God Himself. What is lodged deep in their consciousness, keeping them awake at night, restless and wild, is the powerful healing frequency and the unyielding resilience radiating from your being right after this action. They are captivated by a soul that has walked through the hell of rejection, been trampled by humiliating betrayals, yet remained unstained, rising instead from the ashes with the majestic, awe-inspiring presence of a king. This is a love of supreme destiny, a supernatural connection designed by God Himself to compensate for the days you were stripped of everything. The nature of this telepathic bond is so strong and robust that no dark force, no curse, nor any mortal intervention can shake it. Because just as the eternal declaration engraved in Song of Solomon 8:7 states, "Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it." Yes, all the rolling waves of life, all geographical distances, all obstructing rivers of doubt and trial are completely powerless before the fire of divine love, burning intensely and rushing straight toward your life. And at the very moment your aura reaches the peak of its purity, a shocking plot twist, a breathtaking revelation will unfold to awaken your mind. The person who is madly infatuated with you, who carries the blood of the kingdom spouse destined for you, might not be someone far away on the other side of the globe, or a faceless figure in your imagination. Prepare yourself for a breathtaking truth. They may have already appeared in your life before as an old acquaintance, a faint colleague, or a figure who crossed your path countless times without a single spark of emotion passing between you, perhaps even treating you completely normally or coldly. Or they are a completely brand new person being escorted to your path by angels. But whoever they are, the top secret key to turning the tables is this. The great action you just performed has directly flung open their blinded spiritual eyes. Before, when you were immersed in the energy of resentment, crying and begging for pity from wrong relationships, the aura of the chosen one within you was covered by a gray veil of trauma, leaving them completely blind, unable to recognize you. But the moment you decisively stood up, abandoned the role of the victim, and held your head high to accept your crown of destiny, a massive spiritual push with the force of a tempest struck that person's subconscious. Your great act of letting go tore through the veil of ignorance in their soul, causing them to suddenly wake up in the middle of the night, stunned by a supreme truth. You are their only destiny, the priceless treasure they must seek and protect with their very life. This accelerated awakening of your spouse is creating an incredibly intense flow of energy, a colossal spiritual pressure, forcing you to raise your guard to the maximum. The next few seconds will reveal why the silent emoji appears in this message. This is absolutely not a random symbol, but a vital defensive tactic, a top-secret strategy from heaven, to keep your blessing from being stolen or suffocated right on the threshold of glorious victory. Do not let any doubt shake your faith at this moment, for the master key is right in your hands. Setting up this covenant knot is not merely a mechanical action, but a conscious effort to position your frequency into the highest anointed network of the universe. The moment you align with this flow of revelation, the chosen one's crown will automatically activate the powers hidden deep within your spiritual DNA. You will suddenly realize clairvoyant abilities, a sharp intuition, and the codes of prosperity and peace, long buried under the dust of trauma, will be brought to light gloriously, one by one. You are no longer a lonely traveler groping in the dark. You possess a supreme power to master your own destiny. The bigger picture is shifting. They are rushing toward you at the speed of light. Hold your position, cling tightly to this noble frequency, and prepare to receive the ultimate glory awaiting you in the next few seconds. As soon as this noble frequency is positioned, and the gates of glory swing wide to receive the rushing footsteps of your divine spouse, an urgent ultimatum is issued directly from heaven's war room. Maintaining the proud momentum of this great awakening, remember the keep silent emoji mysteriously placed from the very opening seconds of this message. It is not some random puzzle piece to draw cheap curiosity, but a vital prophetic reminder crucial to the entire process of receiving. Why the symbol of silence right now? Listen closely. Chosen one, when an unprecedented great blessing and a love of cosmic proportions are parting the waves to rush into your life, the absolute unchanging command right now is you must seal your lips. The magnificent transformation deep within, the grand plans taking shape, or even the miraculous budding of this sacred relationship, all must be kept strictly confidential in the quietest chamber of your soul. You must absolutely never take any small detail of this spectacular change, or the identity of this new person to gossip, brag, or seek attention from those who do not share your frequency. Never display the pearls and jewels of the kingdom of light before the muddy, calculating eyes of the world. Low-energy people still lurk around you. Individuals with cynicism, jealousy, and envy deeply rooted in their bones. When you throw this radiant, anointed energy into their circle, what you receive in return will absolutely not be sincere blessings. On the contrary, that action inadvertently triggers a silent rage, a vicious envy. Human jealousy is not merely a harmless negative psychological state. It is, in fact, a form of energetic witchcraft. Toxic arrows steeped in malice in the spiritual realm that have an incredibly devastating power over fragile blessings. And this is a shocking twist, a naked truth that will shake your subconscious, forcing you to shudder and raise your guard to the absolute maximum. They saw it. This declaration does not only apply to the angelic armies or your divine spouse. Engrave this deeply in your mind. The enemy also saw it. The dark forces, the familiar spirits that once took root and manipulated you in the darkness of your past, have also witnessed your brilliant aura burst forth with their own eyes. They saw firsthand the moment you crushed the chains of karma to dust. Now they are in absolute panic, raging with anger because they are about to lose a monumental prey. Since they cannot launch a direct attack against the solid protective firewall of the Most High surrounding you, they will employ a tactic 10,000 times more cowardly and cunning. They will lurk and listen to every single word coming out of your mouth. If you speak too soon, if you impulsively share this unformed joy with the wrong person, you are handing the weapon of destruction directly to the enemy. You will invite extreme trouble upon yourself, creating massive obstacles in your path before this great blessing can take shape and firmly root itself in the physical world. Words spoken prematurely and confidences misplaced will immediately become fatal loopholes for dark forces to invade and sabotage. They will sow misunderstanding, trigger doubt, and delay the sacred reunion that heaven has painstakingly arranged. Therefore, your silence during this stage is not weakness, nor is it a cowardly retreat or fear of earthly forces. Rather, it is the highest wisdom to protect the seed that God has just sown in the soil of your life. Just like a seed carrying the genetic code of a giant tree, it needs to be nurtured in the deep, silent, and absolutely safe darkness of the earth. It must silently grow deep roots, anchoring itself to the bedrock, absorbing all divine nutrients before it is strong enough to sprout through the soil to meet the sunlight. Your blessing is currently in a sacred incubator. The covenant of your divine spouse is in the process of being downloaded, encoded into the physical timeline. Do not hastily open that incubator just to satisfy a tiny bit of impulsive ego or to seek shallow praise from curious onlookers. Train yourself to be a silent warrior of supreme authority. A true chosen one never needs to scream or show off to prove their presence or eternal worth. The most terrifying authority, the most overwhelming power, is always released from steadfast silence. Let the final result, when everything is ripe, sound like a thunderclap shaking heaven and earth, rather than letting empty, short-lived bragging dissipate your anointed energy. Those who once mocked and sneered, those who were convinced that this destiny would forever sink deep into the swamp of humiliating failure, have absolutely no right, and do not deserve to know about the glorious path heaven is secretly designing. Their ignorance and lack of understanding regarding your current state is the perfect, safest camouflage for the chosen one to proudly march forward. When the blessing has finished taking shape, when this destined love publicly emerges into the light with all the authoritative guarantee of eternity, then glory itself will strike a thunderous blow to all past contempt. No explanation needed, no justification required. Right now, at this pivotal moment, lock away your sacred secrets. Extinguish any urge to open up to those who probe. Smile coldly and maintain absolute silence in the face of subtle information traps. When jealousy tries to approach under the guise of fake concern, use silence as your sturdiest, sharpest shield to deflect the blow. This life is carrying a miracle, yes. This entire soul and mind are serving as an incubator for the greatest miracle of spiritual resurrection. No one exposes a newly formed embryo to a raging storm. Protect it with absolute stillness, with quiet vibrations directed toward the throne, with an ironclad, invincible faith that requires no earthly eyes to witness other than the one who promised this prosperity. The door of destiny has closed on the past, and a radiant kingdom is taking shape in the most authoritative silence. A radiant kingdom is taking shape in the most authoritative silence. And as soon as that miraculous seed is protected safely in the incubator of faith, the grandest picture of the universe will be fully revealed to strike the final blow. Look back at this entire sacred message. Look straight at the words shining in mid-air, capturing the full meaning of a spiritual revolution. Finally, this is not a mindless exclamation. It is a sigh of relief echoing from the throne, a roar of victory shaking eternity. Why? Finally, because it carries the weight of a dual fulfillment, a perfect intersection between human will and the power of the Most High. This finally applies absolutely, brutally, and beautifully to both sides of the axis of destiny. The first side is you, finally. After thousands of nights of heart-wrenching agony, after collapsing countless times and struggling to bandage your own wounds, you have truly changed. The shell of self-doubt, the roots of deep-seated trauma from karmic tribulations, have been completely uprooted by your own hands. The wall of false pride collapsed, giving way to absolute surrender. Finally, you stopped running from your own great identity. The stubbornness that once left you drifting in the swamps of wrong relationships, the cowardly compromises that forced you to lower your sacred crown, all were wiped out the moment this exploded. The Chosen One no longer naively believes the empty promises of darkness. You stood up straight, head held high, eyes sharp, ready to wear the crown of liberation. Heaven has held its breath waiting for this moment for a very long time. And finally, you have passed the most brutal examination of the soul. But that is not all. The second side of this roaring finally carries the force of a tsunami of grace. Finally, God is releasing the great blessing after long days that seemed forgotten. Understand a vital truth. Delays in the past are absolutely not denials. During those days you cried out in the darkness. The universe did not turn a blind eye. That delay was a period of tempering, refining the gold in the hottest fire, to ensure that when this great gift is bestowed, it does not fall into weak hands, nor is it stolen by a mind still filled with fear. But now, as the aura of surrender shines brilliantly, the period of arduous training is officially over. The floodgates of immense blessings have been completely breached. All the compensation, special favors, and the most radiant love of your divine spouse are pouring down on your life like a rainstorm after a 1,000-year drought. The season of loneliness is officially over, closed forever. Slam shut the door scattered with the shards of your shame, and throw the key into the abyss. Enough of hopeless tears, enough of long nights with only darkness for company. The desolation of your soul has been banished, making way for a vibrant life sprouting anew. You are no longer in exile in the emotional desert. The barren landscape has been replaced by an era bursting with vitality, perfectly fulfilling every powerful word engraved since ancient times. Song of Solomon 2:11-12. For behold, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come. Listen closely to the singing rising from the spiritual realm. The harsh winter of rejection, of blizzards that knock down your faith, has completely ended. The bitter rains of tears have dried up. Right beneath your feet at this moment, the flowers of resurrection and divine love are blooming radiantly, spreading a sweet fragrance to every corner of your existence. The time to sing of glory, to dance in the light of recognition has arrived. The Chosen One no longer has to hide or wait in weariness. The kingdom has been prepared, and the king-queen of that kingdom is gracefully ascending the throne. No force, no karma can delay this glory for even another second. If you watch until these final seconds, you will receive the declaration to instantly activate this process. You are not here by accident. Every minute, every second you are held by this message is a sophisticated arrangement by the hand of the Most High, designed to ensure the code of liberation is deeply implanted in your subconscious. Now, with the truth nakedly exposed, with your aura resonating powerfully, with the universe's anointed frequency, you must perform one final physical act to permanently lock in this covenant. Do not keep this fire to yourself. For spiritual prosperity always requires a cycle of sharing and spreading blessings. Share this message with a friend who is also tired of waiting for love as a covenant, that you are ready to enter the season of harvesting blessings. Sending this message is not just sharing a regular video, it is your ultimate declaration of war against darkness. A deafening sound tearing through all chains of selfishness and isolation. When you pass this torch of hope to another longing soul, you are officially signing your own declaration of glory, announcing to all the angelic hosts, the granary is ripe, the sickle is ready in hand, and the Chosen One is proudly marching straight into the center of the greatest harvest of all time. The covenant is activated. The blessings are unlocked. Hold your head high and harvest everything that belongs to you. The moment the harvest of all your blessings is confirmed, the greatest new chapter in the Book of Destiny officially unfolds with the brilliant light of heaven. The dark journey has receded behind you. Every tear of resentment shed in the cold, dark night has now crystallized into the most authoritative, sparkling, and solemn crown. The spiritual enemy who tried to crush this soul could only watch helplessly as their traps turned into the perfect launching pad, propelling the Chosen One to the peak of grace. Your absolute obedience and decisive letting go of a painful bleeding past was the fatal blow shattering all chains of delay. Now, your divinely ordained counterpart, your kingdom spouse, is frantically drawn to your healing frequency and resilience. They are crossing all barriers of time to rush straight toward this light. Your task right now is incredibly simple, yet requires supreme fortitude. Maintain your sacred stillness. Shield this young tree of blessing with quiet wisdom, absolutely never allowing any envious glance of the world to strip away the glory taking shape. The winter has ended. The season of glorious singing has descended. The chosen one is now the embodiment of eternally guaranteed strength and love. If you are completely ready to receive the greatest love of your life, declare it as your confirmation. The crown is on. The blessings are pouring in to permanently seal the ultimate glory for your life.